Hey, welcome back to Cash Flow. Today we are going to talk about the fact that you may not be broke, you might just hate math. This is one of those topics that always gets a lot of attention because I'm of a mind that mental math is really an emotional thing. When you're doing math in your head, you are envisioning all sorts of catastrophes. But if we take the time to just do a little tiny bit of math on a piece of paper, it all of a sudden takes all the drama out of it and gives you just the facts. And here's the thing, our bank accounts don't lie. But a lot of times we don't look at them, we don't look at the balances until it's telling us, hey, I've overdrafted, or hey, you got to make payroll and you don't have the money. That's what kicks us into a panic. And we start to do the math in our head, and we can make all sorts of crazy decisions like, I have to fire people, or I have to shut down the business, or I need to, go out and raise my triple my prices. And a lot of times, because we're doing that all mentally, we're separating what's really happening, or we're infecting what's really happening with all of our mind garbage around money. And we all know we have that. We have tons of episodes on that. So, what we're going to do today is we've created, and there's a link to it down here, a very easy worksheet for you to just drop some numbers on if you're at the point of panic or anytime you hit a panic. Drop your numbers in there and all of a sudden, you can see a picture that's a few days ahead that can let you really think logically about what you might want to do in the next 5 days or so, instead of finding out at very last minute and panicking, or instead of getting in your head and thinking, oh my God, I'm running out of money. And when you put the numbers on paper, you're really not. I often talk about this as when we don't look at the actual physical math, which isn't hard, you'll see in this spreadsheet or this worksheet, it's not hard. When we don't look at that, we're pretty sure that when we open the door, there's a tiger back there. But a lot of times when we put the math on the paper, and trust me, very easy sheet to use right here, we open that door a little bit and we see it's just a kitty cat. So I'm going to jump in now and show you exactly how to use this worksheet. You'll see how simple it is, and then I'll come right back and we'll wrap up.
And so here we are inside the easy to use forecasting tool. We have much more complicated ones than this, but this is really how simple figuring out what your cash flow is. So what you've got is kind of two parts in this sheet. The top part, which is like a pulse check. It's like when you're in panic mode or when you just want to answer the question, what does my cash flow look like? And then the bottom is literally a weekly check-in that you can do. So I'm just going to walk you through using this with an example. So let's say I look at my checking account balance and I do that online. And what I see is that I have in there $1,258.43, just making stuff up. And I know that coming over the next 5 days, so we're looking at the next 5 days, that I have a couple of pending deposits from my clients. Let's say I know that we've got $1,200 in pending deposits or deposits that'll hit in the next 5 days. And that's literally not really that hard to forecast because you know who has already paid you and it just hasn't cleared or who might be paying you in the next, day or two. And then anything coming in from other accounts. Say I have a routine transfer from, I don't know, some other account into this one of $100 a week. So I know I'm going to get that $100 in. And then anything else that I might have that would hit this account and increase the amount in it. And let's just say I don't have any of those right now. So what that tells us is, okay, over the next 5 days, I'm going to have this much cash accessible to me. What's coming up over the next 5 days? Well, I don't have payroll, so that's good. I do have a couple subscriptions that are going to hit, and those are about, I don't know, let's just say $52 of subscription stuff that's going to hit. My rent is due, and say I pay 600 for some shared office space. I have a couple contractor invoices I need to pay. Don't have any loans. And then I just allow for some extra stuff that might come in that I don't know about. We'll put $200 there. So now I can see down here in the yellow highlighted area that I'm okay, right? Between the money that's going to come in and the money that's going to go out over the next 5 days, my net cash position is positive. Now, what would happen if it weren't, right? And this is a pretty important thing for us to understand. So let's just say that my payroll is due, and say my payroll is $2,500. Okay, now you can see, uh-oh, that's a negative number. And if that's a negative number, this tells me, okay, I don't have enough money coming in over the next few days in order to pay the next few days worth of things. So the nice thing about this is instead of coming up on a day where you literally just land on your bank balance and go, oh crap, I'm overdrawn, this at least gives you a view into the next 5 days. And what you could decide to do when you see this is, okay, I'm going to move a little money from another account, or I'm going to pull some money in off of a credit card or a credit line. So you've got two choices. You can either increase what's happening here, oops, sorry, or you can decrease what's happening here. You can increase the money coming in or decrease the money going out. But one way or another, you've got to do something, whether it's pull from a credit card, borrow money, transfer from another account, or say, for example, yikes, I really I'm gonna have to call my landlord and tell him my payment might be a little late. Got to pay those contractor invoices, but we just won't let anything else slip through. And then I'm going to go pull $500 off of a credit card or pay some of my bills off a credit card. Okay, and now I can squeak through. Okay, so that's why this is good. Anytime you're like oh my gosh, what's going on? And you just want a quick glance, that's what you want to do as the top part of this. Now, what I highly recommend is a weekly check-in as well, right? So that you're not just kind of doing this on panic. So what I would say is let's come in and put a date in here. Let's just say 4, 10, 25, and I'll look at my bank balance, say it's the same thing, 1258.43, and or let's actually say it's the balance at the end of this week. So I'm looking at next week, 256.43. And I know I'm getting $2,600 in receivables, and I know all of these things that are payables are going to add up to 1,500. So I will have left at the end of the day this cash excess of 1,100. Okay, that's a much better position in the upcoming days, right? So that's why you want to kind of do this weekly to see what's going on. And then as you learn things, as you do this check-in every week, you can start to say, hey, what's a decision I'm going to make differently this week? And I'll give you a great example. We just did this in our company, review all subscriptions. And we do that actually quarterly, which is great because I'm prone, as we might know, to buy toys and things. And that's why I'm no longer in charge of my own budget, but Francis is in charge of our budget so that I make better decisions about what to spend money on. And this is one of the things you could choose to do differently this week and bring down that number. Maybe another item is you get an idea about how that it's time to look at increasing prices. So you might come in here and say, okay, I'm going to look at price increase for membership for all new members coming in. But whatever it is, like if this number is not growing every week, this net cash position, or it's not even every week and you're just putting money back into the business, then it's time to think about what I'm going to do differently. So there's your easy to use worksheet. I hope you pop in and use it, especially if you're dealing with tight cash flow right now, right after tax season, right when that big bill has come in. So hope you enjoy it.
All right. So I hope you enjoyed that walkthrough and you can see how really simple it is to do. And it's so worthwhile. You can change the number of days that you're doing it for. You can look 10 days out. You can look 20 days out. Whatever you feel comfortable is really reflecting the consistent money that's going to come in and go out on your behalf. So know that you can be very flexible with that sheet. But in addition, the key here is to remove all the reactivity, remove all the emotional reaction from what's actually happening, and look at the real math so that you can run your business with strategy instead of emotion and reaction. That's what we're after here. So I do want you to give this a try. You don't want to be making fear based decisions, and this is a way to get out of making fear based decisions. Because fear based decisions are really nothing more than I don't know the real answer, so I'm making it up in my head. So, my challenge to you is to use this worksheet before you make your next big money decision, whatever it might be. You're going to hire somebody, you're going to fire somebody, you're going to change your prices, you're going to go on vacation, whatever it might be. Do me a favor, get this worksheet, have it in your drawer to use whenever you need it, and give it a shot for your next business decision. That is cash flow for this week. Great talking to you. I hope to see you next week. Have a good one.